Hi friends, today I'd like to discuss 9 reasons people trap themselves in the paycheck to paycheck cycle and offer a few solutions. My name is Lucas and I love to help business owners and creatives simplify and improve their finances. In my 20s and 30s, I was completely oblivious as to why I was living paycheck to paycheck. But when I started to improve my finances through the Big Split method, and I started helping clients do the same, I noticed several habits that keep us in financial prison. So let's take a closer look. The first 2 reasons we live paycheck to paycheck have to do with the flow of our money, and they're often overlooked because they're quite subtle. Have you ever wondered why there's no money left once you pay your bills? We have trained ourselves to give away our money to everyone else first and put our financial needs last. So currently the money comes in, we pay our bills, so we give it away to everyone else first, and then there's nothing left for us to keep. But when we change the order, so the money comes in, we keep some for ourselves, and then we spend, we instantly improve the flow of our money. It's called paying yourself first. Whether you want to put money down for a house, or you want to put money towards investments, or maybe you have a ton of debt that you've been ignoring, those are financial priorities. So when you take care of those first, everything starts to improve. If you'd like to learn how to pay yourself first, check out this video. Now, do the same thing with your taxes. As employees and freelancers, we give our money to the government first. But as business owners, we can improve the flow of our money by paying taxes last. Plus, when we're taxed through a proper business entity, we're able to take advantage of tax incentives and pay less taxes. Now, if you'd like to learn more about this process, check out this video. And I always recommend to talk to a tax pro who's familiar with your specific situation and your local tax laws. By the way, I teach both of these plus everything else that we're going to talk about in today's video inside of the Big Split program. If you'd like to quickly improve your finances with me one-on-one in less than a week, comment the Big Split and I'll send you some info. Dale Carnegie once said, "Inaction breeds doubt and fear." Because we don't know how to fix our finances, we usually do nothing. And so the fear grows and we prolong the paycheck to paycheck cycle. The solution? First, recognize that avoiding your finances is doing more harm than good. Second, get educated. A couple books, some YouTube videos, a good course, or a money coach can help you improve rapidly. And third, take action. There's 2 exercises that I teach in the Big Split that can help with this. The first is to do a financial house cleaning. We close, consolidate, and simplify your credit cards, your banks and bank accounts, and your bill paying. It helps you cut through the avoidance and get you organized. If you'd like to learn how, check it out here. The second is to practice regular financial check-ins. Autopay may be convenient, but when our finances are out of sight and out of mind, we lose track of our spending. The solution? Log into your bank accounts and your credit cards once a week to make payments and check balances. It takes less than 5 minutes to do, and it's much faster and easier than budgeting. As I mentioned in the previous step, when we have no connection to our finances, things tend to get out of control. And because of that, it leads to the next 2 reasons most people stay trapped in the paycheck to paycheck cycle. Not fully understanding how to use credit cards and having no accountability for our spending. When we use credit cards to buy things we can't afford, we trap ourselves. When we make 1 payment per month, like they suggest, we trap ourselves. And when we use multiple credit cards, thinking that they're going to help our credit score, we trap ourselves. But when we get credit cards working for us, we don't have to pay fees and we can be rewarded for our spending. If you'd like to learn how to do this, check out this video. And when it comes to having no accountability for our spending, there is a simple solution. Put all of your purchases onto 1 credit card. Then log in once a week and make multiple payments to the card. I log in every Sunday night and I make 3 to 4 payments per week. Now this achieves 2 things. First off, you're logging in once a week, which means you're staying on top of and in tune with your spending. So if you spent a lot of money last week on your credit card and you go into next week, you are creating a natural accountability for your spending habits. You're probably going to pull back a little. And that's awesome because it doesn't require budgeting. Now, the second benefit to this is because your payments are really small, they're much more obtainable to pay. And because you stay ahead of things, you don't pay fees and interest. Plus, you avoid having that one large monthly payment at the end of the month, which can screw you up with other things in your financial life. Another reason we trap ourselves in the paycheck to paycheck cycle is because we buy far too many liabilities and not enough assets. As Robert Kiyosaki from the book Rich Dad Poor Dad wrote, an asset is something that puts money into our pockets. A liability is something that takes money out of our pockets. So I'd like to offer you a simple exercise that you can use on the daily to buy less liabilities. Every time you're about to spend money, ask yourself, will this put money into my pocket or will this take money out of my pocket? Now you can still buy the thing, but by running your purchases through this filter, you yank yourself out of mindlessly consuming. And just a quick point here. So I'm a photographer. If I buy a $5,000 camera, yeah, that takes a lot of money out of my pocket, but I also know that that's going to bring me a lot of income. Another example would be if I buy a jet ski, that's probably not going to make me a lot of money unless I start renting it out. When you look at things from this filter, you start to make better decisions, and this also gives you more accountability for your spending. The seventh reason we trap ourselves in the paycheck to paycheck cycle is unique to each individual because it has to do with what we learned about money growing up. Every time we witnessed our parents arguing about money, a seed was planted. And when our grandparents told us to save every single penny, another seed was planted. And when we overheard things like money makes us evil or greedy, or we get into the working world and we see how other people spend money, more seeds get planted. If we're lucky, we may have a role model who teaches us how to do money better, but that's not the norm for most people. So all of those seeds grow into weeds, and eventually they become what I call financial blocks. If you'd like to break through your financial blocks, I show you how to identify and remove them in this special 4-part series. Another subtle thing keeping us trapped is thinking that more money will fix our problems. When we think this, we're only looking at half the equation. The other half is the thoughts and habits that created the problems in the first place. As my mentor Travis Elliott often says, it's like climbing a mountain but never exploring the caves underneath. We know deep down that poor spending habits and no plan for our money is making things worse, but we often take the easy route and tell ourselves that we need more money. But all that really does is kick the can down the road and prolong our financial imprisonment. The solution? Recognize that your financial bucket is full of holes and learn how to plug your financial leaks. When we do, our accounts grow, our confidence builds, and when more money does come in, we know how to handle it and not waste any of it. If you'd like to learn more about financial leaks, I go through several in this video. But if you'd like to learn what yours are specifically, let's hop on a free one-on-one call. Comment free call and I'll send you a calendar link. One of the biggest reasons we live paycheck to paycheck is not having a plan for our money. Now, it's kind of like riding a bike with no seat. It can be done, but it's incredibly uncomfortable. From overspending and poor credit scores to turning down social invites because we're broke, every financial problem can be avoided by having a simple plan. Now, technically, budgeting is a plan for your money, but let's be honest. If you enjoyed policing yourself and tracking every little expense on a weekly basis, you wouldn't be sitting here with me. No offense to budgeting, but it's so tedious and boring that none of my clients, including me, will actually stick with it. That's why I created the Big Split. It's a simple plan for your money, and it goes like this. Every time you receive money, split it up and send it to your responsibilities first. So you're paying yourself first before your shitty spending habits can kick in. Now, all of your responsibilities get taken care of, including you. If you're smart enough to know that a budget can help and wise enough to know that you're not going to stick to one, create a simple plan for your money or feel free to use mine. And by the way, the fact that you're still here with me means the world to me. So thank you for your time and energy. Now let's recap. If you would like to break out of the paycheck to paycheck cycle, pay yourself first and taxes last. Stop avoiding your finances and take action. Stop being a slave to credit cards and banks. Create more accountability for your spending. Buy more assets and less liabilities. Remove your financial blocks. Plug your financial leaks and create a simple plan for your money. If you found today's video helpful, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment and I'll get back to you.